Hey everyone, Chris here. Time for another video on the BMW X3 E83. What am I doing in this video? Well, I thought I'd put together a video of me doing a pressure wash of the engine and the bottom cover. A little bit of background, so I don't know if you've seen some of the other videos I've posted, but I've had a few problems with the X3 that I've had to address over the years. Some of these issues include the oil cooler leaking, which you can see there on top. The gasket there leaked on me, so I got a little bit of oil in the engine compartment. I also just replaced the evaporator tank, which you could see there. That's actually brand new with the new cap on it. And it leaked some radiator fluid into the engine compartment. Just last time I changed my oil, I didn't change the crush washer on the drain bolt. And actually some oil was just very slowly dripping from my drain bolt there, and I had the cover on and oil got in there, and you can imagine with dirt and everything like that, it made a big mess. So what I'm doing here is I took off the bottom cover to do the expansion tank, but before I put everything back on, wanted to get my Harbor Freight Tools pressure washer, give it a good rinse first. So you saw me give the cover a rinse on both sides, and then on the inside of the engine gave it a rinse. Now I'm just coming through with some simple green at full concentration to just kind of set in there and loosen up all the grease and grime, that oil. So one thing you can't see in this photo is I actually covered up the air intake pretty well. There's a better video of it actually. So you want to make sure you cover that up. And here I'm just giving the simple green, a couple minutes to kind of soak in a little bit. And then here we are, we're taking a look inside the engine compartment. But one thing you want to do when you're using the pressure washer on here, there's lots of delicate hoses and electrical fixtures and things like that. Make sure, like you saw me when I was moving it, keep moving it around. Don't leave it in one place in the engine for too long. And you'd hate for it to go after that, plastic hose you just saw there and break it. Or do something else, maybe get too far into an electrical connection, things like that. But you can kind of see here, the first rinse cleaned things up pretty well, and then the simple green's working. It's not too bad in there, but I wanted to, clean up all that oil because oil can, shorten the life of rubber. And I haven't changed that lower radiator hose. I did change the upper radiator hose when I did the expansion tank, but I'm going to try to get more mileage out of that lower radiator hose. And here I am just giving the bottom plate a good rinse on both sides. It doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be enough to get all that oil off so it won't capture any more dirt when you're on the road. And when it goes on, it just looks nice again. You can see that bottom plate. I actually didn't separate the plastic cover from that aluminum bottom plate, which goes over the transmission. I just had difficulty separating it, so I just took it off as one piece, and then I just put it all back on as one piece. Hey, another thing about that bottom cover, you can't see it that well, but it actually has a funnel to direct air at the transmission and act as a transmission cooler. It's pretty cool. Again, you see I keep the water stream moving. I don't want it in one place for too long. And I think I pressure washed it one time before this, and I actually had taken that plastic engine cover off and just cleaned the top of the engine. It wasn't dirty though, so I didn't need to take it off this time. And here we are, just looking at the finished product. I left it out in the sun after I had finished rinsing it. I left it out in the sun for maybe 15-20 minutes, and then just took a microfiber towel and just ran it all in there. And I think you can see here it's looking pretty good. This doesn't look like a car that's 8 years old, 100,000 miles. It's looking pretty good. New radiator expansion tank there. There's that oil cooler where I did the oil cooler gasket, but not the oil filter housing. I skipped that one, and it seems to be okay still. Folks, I know this wasn't a technical video, but if you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button down there. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you.